Are you truly free, or do you just think you are? Did you choose what you believe, what you wear, what you love, or do you simply follow something that was installed within you without you even noticing? Everyone talks about freedom. They want financial freedom, emotional freedom, time freedom. But what would Socrates say? The man who was condemned to death for corrupting the youth with uncomfortable questions. Perhaps, if he were here today, he would say something similar to, "True slavery is living without examining your own life." We live in an era where we can choose from thousands of options: what to eat, where to work, who to be in a relationship with, which religion to follow, or even none at all. But despite this, most people live with anxiety, fear, and guilt. Why? Because we confuse freedom with the absence of limits. Socrates warned that freedom only exists when the soul is in order. Otherwise, we are slaves to desires, impulses, others' opinions, and even algorithms. He said, "He is not free who does what he wants, but he who understands why he does it." And today, many people live repeating ready-made discourses, buying ideas of freedom packaged as authenticity, but without ever asking themselves, did I choose this, or was I just conditioned? The worst prison isn't physical, it's mental. And Socrates saw this in his fellow Athenians. They were trapped by public opinion, the fear of judgment, the search for approval. Today, this translates into social media, labels, ideological bubbles. Freedom has become a performance. The narrow path to true freedom. Socrates walked the city asking, what is good? What is justice? What is truth? And when people tried to answer, he showed them they didn't know what they were talking about. This was unsettling, and it still is today, because it forces us to face that we are more puppets than agents. Socrates believed that questioning was the beginning of freedom, and that requires courage. It's more comfortable to repeat what has already been said, to follow the crowd, to choose the wide path. But as Jesus said in the Gospel of Matthew, "Wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it." True freedom is narrow, because it demands self-mastery, responsibility, and truth. It's not doing everything you want, it's understanding what you should do and why. The Bible speaks of conscience as a space where God speaks to man. Paul says in Romans that the Gentiles have the law written on their hearts. It's as if humans carry an internal tribunal. Socrates, without knowing the biblical God, spoke of an inner daimon, a kind of voice that guided him and prevented him from doing wrong. Both agree that true freedom is not outside, but within. And for that, silence is needed, reflection, self-knowledge, things increasingly rare in today's noisy and superficial society. Freedom is a process, not a destination. Jesus said, "You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." And Socrates said, "Know thyself." It's no coincidence, because freedom isn't doing whatever you want, it's knowing what to do even when everything tells you otherwise. It's having moral firmness. It's knowing when to be silent. It's having the courage to say no. It's living according to conscience, even when it costs you. You are not free just because you have options. You are only free when you think, choose, and act consciously. Socrates paid with his life for teaching this. Jesus did too. Perhaps because truth, when it deeply touches, disturbs more than it comforts. But it is this truth that transforms, that liberates, that makes you whole, even in a broken world.